ready to get it going. We see the Magic. Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this Friday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and by my side, Clark Kellogg and the sharpshooter Steve Kerr. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. Someone will be keeping an eye on Victor Oladipo.
He plays with a frenetic energy, a great rebounder and defender. With his strength and athleticism, I think Oladipo could become one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA.
Love his game. Victor Oladipo. He gets it done at both ends, fellas. The real deal, and I think he's got a really good future in the NBA.
The Magic make a quick stop here in front of their Orlando fans just one game before heading out. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Milwaukee team. They lost the season series last year, winning 1 and losing 2.
And, you know, I think they may have a little extra motivation because they lost last event. He's really had the touch going.
Milwaukee making a switch. Bayless is checked in. Well, it's hard to argue with the effect John Henson has had on the basketball floor. 6'11" Clark with a 7'5" arm span. He obviously is a force defensive.
And a lot of that, Kevin,
Bayless.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
Here's the captain. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Knicks in New York.
Well, he was such a presence in the lane. He had 3 blocks, but it was more than that. It was just his force. He altered several shots as well.
Henson dishes to Mayo. It's stolen. Setting the floor for the Bucks. Up front, it's Henson and Sanders. At the 2 and the 3 are Mayo and Parker. And it's Knight in the
Roy Hibbert school of defense, remaining vertical, walling off the rim, and avoiding those fouls. I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly he was there.
The Magic trailed by 4. There's a screen. And count the bucket. And that reminds me, did you guys see him?
What they needed to do here is centered around his offense.
The Bucks making a switch here. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Bucks lead by 21. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. 13.
He has great dexterity inside. He can contort his body, shift in midair, hang time. He can protect the ball and finish through contact. Just an impressive player in the paint.
And, Steve, that's not a skill that most players have. I mean, that's exactly why they try to feed it to him in the paint whenever possible.
So the Bucks last season with one of the worst records guys in the NBA, almost despite themselves.
Yeah, a rare high draft pick for
Pachulia. He's checked in for Sanders. Ilyasova comes in for John Henson. And Antetokounmpo subbed in for O.J. Mayo. And Larry Sanders might be best served working on his free throw shot, Steve, shooting under 60% for his career and well under 50% last season.
No question. But, Kevin, I think the Bucks, first and foremost.
Here's Huffman. No good on the buzzer beater. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over already. Bucks ahead, running away with it. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this.
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine. The captain, appearing on the front cover, emerging as a star talent in the NBA.
Welcome back. Off the inbound pass. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession.
Something you only really see in celebrity games for charity, and it would certainly have had a huge impact if it was implemented, but I think that would be a reach, folks. Let's stay with the 3-point.
Setting the floor for the Bucks.
Matchup.
On defense, the Bucks. Here's Huffman. Drops it in from 14 feet away. The captain's got 4 points in the quarter. 6 on the shot clock. And that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. And upcoming.
That allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Marshall can't hit.
Yeah, he's surprised he didn't make that one because he had a pretty clean look at the hoop.
Ridnour passes to Nicholson. Here's the captain. Dishes it to Fournier. There's the pass to the captain. Here's the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Ridnour. That's blocked. The bucket.
You know, there are around 150 current NBA players with D-League experience. The developmental league, which started back in 2001 with 8 teams, now has 18.
And, you know, this season the Knicks, the Pistons, and the Magic acquiring single affiliation with D-League teams, and that seems to be a trend. The Knicks and Pistons moving close to White Plains, New York, and Grand Rapids. In the second half, they're letting it fly out there with reckless abandon.
Now they're feeling confident, and they're in a good flow offensively, so why not just keep firing from out there?
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Orlando's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Here's Fournier. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
I give him credit. He didn't have much confidence going in the first half, but he's picking up the pace here.
Here is Bayless. He's guarded by Ridnour. And he gets it to go.
Assist from.
It's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately,
that one wide left. Bayless has gone 40% from the floor in 10 attempts. Here's the captain. Dishes to Fournier. And the pass to Ridnour. Pulls it up. The Magic again can't hit. Marshall with it. And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreams.
Let's just get right to the point. Multiple sources are reporting that you went directly to team management to request a trade. Can you explain your reasoning behind that?
I don't know where you guys are getting your information, but I like your confidence. You might think you know what goes on behind the scenes with this team, but I can promise you, you have no idea. Even if I did request a trade, I wouldn't owe any of you an explanation. That'd be between me and the team. But since I'm not saying I did, then I guess that's all there is to say.
Just earlier, the fans on their feet as the national anthem rang out throughout the arena. Live from Washington, D.C., we bring you to the Verizon Center, the home of the Wizards. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting 5 for both teams. And we'll be seeing Paul Pierce and guys, really one of the great players to watch.
You know, as much as anybody in the league, Pierce is able to hit the tough contested shots. And I think that's because of his strength and his skill level and his ability to knock defenders off balance before rising up and making his jump shot.
And, you know, you said earlier the big buckets down the stretch, Pierce always ready to do that. In the deciding moments of a game, that's when he really separates himself and deserves the moniker, the truth.
Last outing for Orlando, the loss to the Bucks. And guys, the hometown fans not pleased with that. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Look at the Wizards. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the 3rd best record in the conference. And of course, Orlando, quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
Well, right now for the Wizards, of all the surprises the NBA has provided us with this season, they may be the biggest of them all.
I agree, Clark. I mean, coming out of the preseason, it would have been very difficult to make the case for them being one of the NBA's top teams, and yet here we are, and here they are.
We're able to handle the Magic.
Yeah, it was an easy win, mainly because they completely dominated the paint. The rebounding totals were really astounding.
Again, the miss by Wall. Orlando's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Excellent D there from Pierce. 6 to shoot. Knocked loose. That's good. The captain's got his second bucket of the night.
Man, a gaping.
Vucevic, a screen on Wall. Here's Huffman. And the layup's good off the glass. The captain's got 6. Around on the perimeter. And it's Wall. Then it's Kevin Seraphin. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. And the shot is good. 9 points for the captain.
You gotta like.
I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Here's Huffman. Takes it off the glass. The captain's got 7 points for the quarter.
And he's shaking off a poor first quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
Beal dishes the Wall. And there's the rejection.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense.
So he gets the whistle. Contact left, but the bounce goes his way. Magic leading by 8. Washington was a fast starting team last year. Top 5 in first quarter scoring and overall speed of the team could catch, I thought at times, opponents Clark off guard.
And that speed is the key. I mean, you look at Wall and certainly Bill, Bradley Bill, John Wall. Pace of play very much something they emphasized and put pressure on the opposing teams with the way they play.
Nene, he's checked in for Washington. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And their young players are ready to embrace a potential future star. I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Hey guys, the captain in their last game against the Bucks put together a nice one. He had 21 points and added 3 rebounds as well. A truly dominating game from him and what was hopefully a sign of things to come. At least that's how the franchise is thinking, guys.
Thank you, Doris. He was the player they leaned on that night, Steve, and he didn't disappoint them.
No, he didn't. In fact, he did everything they asked of him and more. And I think he really enjoys being that go-to guy for them.
Yeah, I think he relishes that because he knows he's capable of doing it. He's had some performances that have fortified his confidence in that role. So he's in a good place right now. Really an extraordinary game for the captain. 15 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
Well, they might want to think about setting a few more screens for him to try to give him another open look or two.
Orlando. Oladipo and Harkless at the 2 and the 3. Gordon and Vucevic, the big men inside. And it's the captain in at the 1 spot. Now the dish to Harkless. Here's Huffman. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, he's very strong inside, particularly as a finisher. So even if you give him a hard foul, hard contact, nothing seems to bother him. And this guy, as a result, is a good scorer.
Exactly. That's about the only way to stop him once he's making a run.
Here's the captain. Takes the 3. And again, it's the Magic from deep. Gordon with a screen on Wall. The shot's good from the captain. The captain's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Gotta love the finger roll up and open.
Passes to the captain. He squares up and sinks it. The captain's got 24. By Blair. Blair's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Miller. Blocked. And here is Green. No scoring yet.
You get right there.
And we've reached the end of the third. Washington out in front. They're up by 4. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center.
Quick, aggressive drives into the paint area.
Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Pearson and Nene filling up the forward spots. And it's Seraphin in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. The Magic, Steve, a team that 6 years ago was playing in the NBA Finals, but a full-on rebuild is taking place in Orlando.
Yeah, the departure of Dwight Howard kind of set that process in motion, and now...
Conclusion of this game, they're off to Detroit, where they'll face the Pistons. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
You could see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game.
For him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
To the inside, and Harkless slams it in.
That's the epitome of teamwork right there, Kevin, on the alley-oop.
Clark, what about the finish? Bring her down with some thunder.
Yeah, lightning, too.
But I'll tell you, the pass was even better. He put it on an absolute platter for him.
Is it to the captain? Sinks the triple. The captain's got 13 points in the second half.
Second three-pointer of the half, fourth overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
And it's all evened up.
Not much luck with his shooting here. 2 of 7, and seems to have gotten into his head a little bit. And those steals are all the evidence you need of just how high his basketball IQ is. He really sees the floor well defensively.
Peyton, he's checked in for Orlando. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Your name has started to surface in the rumor mill with numerous teams reported to be interested in your services. How do the rumors have an impact on your play on the court?
Look, it's always flattering when a team thinks you can step in and immediately make their team better. I trust the guys upstairs here will make the best move for the organization. If that means me changing zip codes, I'll thank them for the opportunity to play here in this great city and be on my way. In the meantime, I just need to keep my head down, play hard, and help these guys win ball